Okay, it looks like I'm live. I don't know. This is like one of the first times I've done this like this. I'm having to do it on my phone. It doesn't look like my computer wants to participate. So I don't know if anybody's on here or not besides me. Is anybody there? Looks like there's one person. Two people. There's Aaron. Okay, now I see some people are like giving me words. Let's see if I can do this over here. That doesn't work there. I'll leave it where it was. I can see the people that are typing. There's Rachel, Sarah, good. I can see people are joining. That's awesome. I will give it just a couple more seconds to let more people join before I announce the men winners, which is the first thing that I wanted to talk about. There's Stacy, Yvette, or that's not Yvette, that's Y. Hi, Y. Yay. Okay, something's floating. I've only done this a few times, so I don't know all the ins and outs, but we're going to go for it. And since I'm going to participate tomorrow in Heather's event, this will kind of be like a preliminary for me. I don't know how many people will be there, but there you go. Today is my son's birthday. My youngest, my baby, is 16, and I can't even believe that my baby is 16, but he is. And we just ran out to get some wings from BW3, which is what he wanted. And I didn't realize that my husband was going to have to go back to the ball field. And so it's been like crazy wild. I'm like, I have to be back by 7. I said I was going to be there. I have to be there. So I'm here and prepared to talk to you. Excited about talking to everybody. Excited after convention. It was really awesome. I feel like the year before where it was split up into the two sections was really, there were a lot of things that were difficult about that. And a lot of things like with the workshops, people weren't getting in and there was a lot of frustration going on. Well, this year that was like all taken care of by having people be able to pre-register for the workshops. And so that went really well. I feel like I hardly heard any complaints at all. If a matter of fact, the one thing that people would complain about, it was the walking and having to be in different places. So, which really wasn't that bad. I got all my steps in and more, like watching my Fitbit. So that was pretty funny and awesome. Okay, what time is it? It's like 6 after. So there's 17 of you on there. I don't know if that included, let me see if I can roll up. Wow, I can see what you're saying on Facebook at the same time on my computer. Like probably not. I'll try. It's not going to let me click. No. Okay. There's Becky. I haven't talked to Becky in a long time. Okay. Without any further ado, let's talk about the men's challenge, the video challenge. That was really awesome. And I was very excited to see how everybody participated. And one of the things that was really surprising to me was the number of children that were willing to participate. And so just because of that and how awesome they all did, I will send each one of the children, one of the kids sent toothpaste as a thank you for participating in the challenge. I thought it was awesome. They all did really awesome. And I decided to pick a winner from the kids as well as the ones from the adults. So I just did a first place winner for that. And I picked Heidi Perrin's son as the first place winner there, and all the different products that he displayed. And I felt like he did a really good job at showing his personality, and he had so many different products that he loved that he mentioned Ortho Ease was a favorite, so I'm gonna send him an Ortho Ease for his awesome job and the participation that he did. So there you have it for the kids. And now for the other winners of the men, it was really hard. I mean, it was really, really hard. First, when Sarah's husband put this song on, I'm like, oh, that's it, hands down. And then several of you came in last minute and did some really awesome videos, and those were really good and made it really hard for me. So I'm going to tell you how it went. First of all, John Matuzak got the first entry in. So I said that whoever got the first entry in would get a special gift. And so he got the first entry in. And so I'm going to send him a cool Azul because he mentioned that he liked that. And I thought that that was a really great product. I mean, it's a great product for anybody, but since he liked it and that was he got the first entry. So I'm going to send him that for being first entry in. And then, okay, so here we go. Drum roll. Okay. Third place was David Wallace. I thought he did a terrific job with his presentation and with showing his personality and also displaying the product. And I want to tell you that first, second, and third were all so close. I had to watch it numerous times to be able to rank them. And so David was third place. Second place was Jesse Bryant. And I just cracked up throughout his whole thing. And because you know that it makes your mind go blank. And I just thought that was hysterical and great. Wonderful. Second place to Jesse. And first place definitely stayed with Justin Martin. Because I'm like, I told y'all. I was partial to singing, and so I just had to pick that. That was the best one. I loved the singing, and had Jesse sang his, he might have beat him out. I don't know, though. I don't know. It was close. It was really close. You guys did a really great job, and I hope that you'll make your videos public so that we can share them. I'd love to see them on your Facebook pages, or let me share them, publicly or out in some of the other groups. I see a bunch of little hearts and it's really distracting me. It's pretty awesome. I like it. So there you go. First, second, and third place winners, and then the first entry, and then the kids winner, and all the kids will get a participation gift. So it was a lot of fun. I hope that you had fun doing it, and I hope that those of you that viewed all of the videos had fun watching them. They were all excellent. And I got to tell you that John Matuzak is a badass. And if my son was on here, he'd see me cursing again. And yes, I do love Jesus, but yes, I do cuss a little bit. Thank you to the old lady on Ellen show for that line. Man, did you guys think, dude, that's hard, the things that he did. But anyway, okay, so there you go. You got all that. All right, ready to get on with some other business ideas and things. I spent some time talking to Jeff Pearson today, who is, they created new positions for a liaison between the corporate staff and the field. So he is the leader for the Eastern region. And there's a Facebook group, and anyone who is gold and above is in this Facebook group, and they're providing some training for us, and also just a place for feedback. And so he connected with me, and if you've met him, he's pretty awesome. He was one of the ones at convention that did the lip sync, and it's pretty funny, but he's really friendly and nice guy. And so anyway, talking with him, he was asking me like for some feedback of what kind of support we as members want from corporate. And so, and just like what I felt was my biggest challenge as a leader, and then also if we had any ideas of things that we need from them. And so I told him that I feel like our biggest challenge has been the whole compliance issue. And I really feel like that was what set a lot of people back and stopped a lot of people from sharing. And I know that many of you feel that way as well because you've told me. And so, I really feel like, when we were at the Diamond Luncheon, Mary Young suggested and encouraged us to make sure that all of our members get the resources in their hands, right? Which is awesome, and we know that we want to do that, but at the same time, we've had compliance tell us that we're not supposed to share the EODR because it's not compliant. It's a third-party resource, and we're not supposed to share the third-party resources at the same time as we're doing sign-ups, or they're not even supposed to be displayed in the room when you're doing a class and that kind of thing. And I was expressing to him how frustrating that is for those of us on the field and how it really set us back when that whole issue hit. And so I really do feel like that is one thing that set back the OGV for a lot of people. However, once we brushed past that initial, okay, we have to retrain our thinking, we have to think about, keeping above the wellness line and keeping body systems and not being the doctor, if you will, for people, but teaching them to search for themselves. I feel like a lot of that has really been beneficial. And it really will help us in the long range if we stay focused on keeping that as the focus and helping people to realize that they can empower themselves by being their own doctor, if you will, their own detective, I guess is a better word, not doctor, because we don't need a doctor to stay well. We just need to be our own detective and see what our body needs in the form of wellness and like nutrition and managing our emotions and getting rid of toxins. As long as we do all of those things, then our body is innately designed to heal itself. And so, that I feel like has been really way beneficial for us in the long run. So all we need to do is stay focused on that. And I'm hoping that it's going to be easier as we go along. But some other things that I noticed, when I looked at my downline viewer and at some of the people who have stalled or gone back in rank or have maintained the same OGV, is because I feel like we are not developing leaders. Okay, now what I mean by that is, there have been several months where the end of 2015 and the initial part of 2016 where a lot of our OGV was driven by the promotions. Okay, so we have these really great promotions, and so people are upping their OGV to the point, or upping their PV on their orders so that they have enough to get the promotions. And that's awesome. And I love the promotions. And that I feel like we should always at least get the maximum tier of of promotions. Don't really want maximum emotions unless they're good ones. But that is it's also like a mindset, because people feel like they don't want to spend that much money on their products. And as a matter of fact, that is one thing that Jeff said to me today. He said, I don't want the leaders to feel like they have to spend that full $300 in PV in order to, do well. He says, I want them to feel like they don't have to spend that. And I said, Jeff, listen, they should be spending that much, because they wouldn't be they're not a real product user if they're not spending that much. If you're a leader We're talking, higher ranks, that we're doing this as a business. You don't even have to be a higher rank, but if you're doing this and you have it in your mind, I am doing this as a business, not just, casual, and not just I want to make my money back so that I get my products paid for. If you have it in your mind that you are going all the way, you want to be Royal Crown Diamond, you want that for whatever your reason is, then you should be using at least 300 PV every month, because you should be on the supplements, because you need to have experience to be able to talk about how they work. So master formula, how much is that? It's like $100. So that by itself, and the Ningxia, you're gonna spend that much, and you want to maximize your dollar by getting the most free product and by being on ER the longest. And hey, what about that? Is the new ER, whatever they call it, program incentive upgrading? Is that awesome or what? They're upping our ER percentage, and they're giving us gifts. And not only are they giving us gifts, but even if you've already been on the program for that long, you're still going to start over and get the gifts. Like, what company does that? They might grandfather you in, but they're not going to give you those extra gifts. That's crazy that they're doing that. But they are, because they are, and we're going to refocus from getting the promotion, those big free promotions, to let's just do this as a business. Yes, I'm sure there's still going to be promotions, but they're not going to be giving away the farm so much. You're not going to get equal value free stuff as you have gotten, the last few months. Now, I don't know that for a fact. They didn't tell me what the promotions are going to be, but when listening to them listening at convention, I feel like they don't want it to be promotion driven anymore. And we had that massive growth spurt in 2013, 2014, and it had nothing to do with promotions. It was just the business. And if you can't motivate yourself based on the check you're getting, then maybe this isn't the right business for you, is all I'm saying. Because we have available one of the most generous compensation plans and support from your upline leaders, and also from corporate, in the form of these kind of programs, that if you can't make that the goal, then I don't know. Okay, I want to give you this example. I had a leader in my group that she was the main motivator for me to pursue this as a business. One of my, frontline people, and she took off like crazy and way advanced beyond me. But there were a lot of things that she did that were not optimum for her team. And in other words, what I'm going to how I would explain that is to say that some of the building that she did and that she encouraged her leaders to do was not organic. So there were some group buys, they would, in order to advance people. So they would group buy a certain amount to advance people. And what that did is then after they achieved the rank and got the prize, then they fell back. And they fell back forever. Some of them haven't gotten back. And if some of you are those people, I just want you to know that it's not your fault that you took that advice and went with it. And please don't take that as discouraging. Keep going, because you can organically build. You're still there. I forgot to put my phone in airplane mode and someone called. So anyway, so what I'm saying about that is that it wasn't organic building, and so it didn't last. And it was prize driven and not for the benefit of the people that they were working for, if that makes any sense to you. Okay, so wherever you are right this minute, I want you to embrace wherever you are in this business right this minute. get your acceptance oil. Put that on right now. Because wherever you're at right this minute, whether you have advanced to a certain rank and fallen back, whether you have not fallen back, whether you have not even started, or whether you're like all the way where you want to be, I want you to put that acceptance oil on and accept where you are right now and embrace that. And I want you to think about the fact that the whole journey is a series of learning experiences, and it's necessary. Okay, so put that on, accept where you are right now. Okay, and just like breathe that in for a few minutes. Now, while we're accepting where we are, does that mean we want to stay where we are? Oh, my nails look terrible. Sorry. That just like flashed up on the screen. Like, never mind the nails. I'll put my hands back down. Okay, so we accept where we are in this process because like I have fallen back in rank and I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. It feels like it makes you feel like maybe some other people don't feel these things, but I feel like a failure. I feel like I should be doing this better. Why aren't those particular legs that are falling back? Why aren't they growing? What have I done wrong? What should I have done? How should I have helped them? Is it one particular person? You just think of all these things and what am I not doing right? And why haven't I kept advancing at the same rate that I was before? So I am accepting where I'm at, but I'm not going to stay here. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is take out your release. Take out your release oil. If you are not fully living the lifestyle, you cannot be fully successful. Agreed. Yay, Kristen. Take out your release and put that on. And what I want you to be thinking about releasing is everything that's holding you back. All the ways that you're self-sabotaging yourself. All the ways that all the voices that we allow in our heads that say, you're never going to get there. You're never going to make it to the top. You're not going to be one of those ones. Less than 0.01% of people make it all the way to the top. What makes you think that's going to be you? You know what makes me think it? Because I'm not going to quit. That's why. And that is what guarantees the fact that I will get there. I'm not going to quit. And if one person can do it, any person can do it. That means you. But is it likely that, many of you on this call will make it? It's not likely. But you are the one who totally and completely controls that. Whether it's you or not. It's you. You are the one who controls that. It's not luck. It's you. And it's the amount of the people that you talk to. It is definitely a numbers game. Maybe game is not the word. Numbers business. And it's about relationships. So what do? Are you stuck? Do you feel like you're stuck? Because I've felt like I'm stuck for a little while. I tell everybody we're not stuck. Marla says, that's right, Marla. Not dead, can't quit. Kyle Maynard. Absolutely, that's right. We're not dead, can't quit. I'll quit when I'm dead. And then it won't matter. But I really won't quit because my business will be passed on to my children. And they keep going. There you go, right? Not ever quitting. Even when I'm dead, I'm not quitting. Right? Okay, so there were some things in Gary's workshop that I wanted to review or talk about. Okay, so what do you do? What do you do when you're stuck? And some of you have said, I feel like I'm stuck, And when Gary asked, do you feel stuck? Raise your hand. Marla raised her hand. I hope you don't mind me saying that, Marla. Raised her hand. I turned around and looked at her. I'm like, you're not stuck. You're not stuck. We're moving. You might not be moving as far forward as fast as you want to, but we're not stuck. And I keep telling people that, but I feel stuck too. There's a true confession. I feel stuck too because I'm like, why aren't I advancing at the same rate? Because by now I should be really close to crown, but I'm not. So why aren't I? Because I'm self-sabotaging. There are things that I do that sabotage myself, much like probably you do. And some of it is the negative voices in my head. Some of it is not utilizing my time to the best of my ability. Some of it is not following up with people. And so, I'm telling you, these are some of the things that I do to self-sabotage, and I bet you do too. So let's look at some of the things that Gary said. Okay, we have accepted where we are. We're releasing what we don't want, or what we don't want to hold us back, right? What has been holding us back. Some of the things that he said is, how do you build? Okay, communication. Communication is extraordinarily important. And if you have relationships that are strained, this is a relationship business. We need to fix those, right? We need to do the best that we can. The scripture says, do all things possible to be at peace with all men at all times. So, for me, being a red person, red personality traits, I like, you don't like me? See ya. I don't care. We'll just move on. There's plenty of people, I'm just going to tell you it like it is. And if you don't like me, I'm sorry. I'll still help you. I'll still be friendly to you, but it's not going to stop me from doing what I feel is right. And so I come across kind of blunt and harsh sometimes. And I just want you to know, it's like I told people on my last call, please just hear me in your pretty flowery voice going, I really love you. You're an awesome person, but stop putting up the non-compliant stuff. Okay. Just hear the very pretty flowery voice. And just know that I do, even though I may sound harsh and abrasive, I love each one of you. I really do. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be in this business. And I love people and I want to help people. And even though I'm motivated by the red personality, I still love people and care about them. And so that's why I'm doing this. So communication is key. We gotta work on that. If you don't work on that, then people aren't going to listen to you. So that's an area of self-development that I need to work on, and I'm sure that some of you need that as well. Okay, the other thing he said is caring for people. We need to be caring for people. It's not only about advancing the business, it's about caring for people. Isn't that why we're doing this? We're doing this because people are hurting and have needs all across the world. Everybody is hurting and has needs. Everybody has a story. One thing Oprah says, everybody has a story. And it's true. We all do have a story. And so we want to help people, and that's why we're doing this. So get out there and care for people. If you're stuck, what got you this far? Go back to the things that got you this far, okay? And having the correct principles is another thing that he mentioned. So we're doing this because you want to have correct principles. You want to be honest. You want to be upright. You want to be forthcoming and keep yourself on that level and in that place. The next thing he said was know your business. If there's something that you don't know, like you want to know the comp plan, you want to know how to sign people up, you want to know where to get the information that you need, you want to be able to coach someone of how to sign someone up and how to do all those things. That's right. I talk in my fluffy voice. Right? Know your business. If you don't know it, then get online, get your resources, get with your direct upline, your sponsor, and get them to help you. And if your upline can't help you, then go up one more and go up one more and go up one more until you get someone who can help you. Now, does that mean that if you say, I have a headache, what can I use for a headache? No, that doesn't mean that. That means if you don't know how to find out, you can always Google. Is there anybody, have you seen that link? Let me Google that for you. Because, you can do that. Try that first. Don't go in the group and say, well, my so-and-so has cancer, and so I need to know how to help them with the chemotherapy. No. Don't do that. Get a resource and look it up. Or call somebody and ask for. If you've hit something that isn't in a resource and isn't on Google, then call somebody and get help that way. Okay, and another thing that he mentioned in this one particular segment of his group is having correct leadership examples. So be a good example to those that are under you, and not only to those that are under you, but to those that are above you as well. But one of the things that Mary has said before is that she made it her goal when she was in her first company as in a direct marketing company for an herbal supplement. She says one of the first things she did was make it a goal to fire her upline. And what she meant for that is that she didn't need them. She wanted to make it so she didn't need them. She didn't need their input. And so she would get a lot of information just from the resources and also all over the place, but not needing her upline. Now, you know, when I started here locally, there was nobody else locally. I was the first one locally. My upline is in California, and my original mentor, Carrie Shepard, is in Oklahoma. And so what I do, I called on the phone and said, what do I do? Like after I brought home my initial kit and I'm using that, and I'm like, I don't know what to do next. So I called up Carrie. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, I don't know what to do now. She goes, buy the feelings kit. I'm like, okay, bought the feelings kit. And I said, well, what am I supposed to do with it? She's like, look in the book, read about it, put it on. I'm like, okay. Look in the book, read about it, put it on. And so after that, like I'm using that up, but it's not all the way gone. I'm call her up. I'm like, okay, now what do I do? She's like, buy the Golden Touch kit, buy the Raindrop kit. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. Buy the, and go to a care workshop. Okay, I can do that. So I went to a care intensive. I bought the Raindrop kit. So, and she's like, well, you really should get on ER because, you're not maximizing your dollar by not being on ER. Like, okay, I can do that. Get on ER. So, and then as I've got all the resources, I've done some of that training, then I start getting it. I don't have to call her anymore. I don't have to ask her those kind of questions anymore, right? So make it your goal to fire your upline. I didn't have anybody local, so I couldn't go to a local class. So I'm just like, well, like, how do I do this? They're like, just make a PowerPoint and have some people over and go for it. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And just talk about your stories, right? Well, we've been a little bit muzzled with that, but when you're in your own living room, yeah, I'll just leave that there. Get yourself, if you're stuck, who holds the key to that? You do. When I'm stuck, I hold the key to that. We all hold the key to that. If you don't have any friends, be a friend, right? If you have negative thinking, then you are the one who needs to transform your thinking, right? Oh gosh, no, low battery. All right, hold on. All right, so I said I wasn't going to keep you long. All right, so next is gratitude. You know what? We need to be grateful for our upline and our downline. And if your upline isn't what you want them to be, I want you to sit down and think to yourself, what is it that I would rather that my upline be doing that they're not doing? Okay? And I want you to develop that yourself for the people under you. And then I want you to be grateful and thankful for the example or for the things that you learned because your upline didn't do those things for you. Does that make sense? So you're going to be grateful. So you got your gratitude on. Heidi loves her upline. That's awesome. And if you have an upline that's awesome, that's awesome. But some of us started at the same time, or maybe you're starting at the same time as your upline. You start right away and you sign up your friend and you're both starting at the same time. You may not get exactly the same kind of leading that you think that you need. If you aren't getting the leading that you think that you need, then develop it yourself. Okay? Okay, there was something else I wanted to say. Yeah. So I feel like we've been promotion driven, and I think that needs to stop. I feel like we've been muzzled by the compliance issue, and I feel like we what I see happening with some people is they do not have laser focus. So if there's someone who, some of you work full time, and that you can't help that. You work full time and you have to, and that's just the way it is. And this business is set up so that you can work it part time until you're ready to until you make enough money to quit that full time job. But if you work a full time job, then you are going to have to expend what is the word I'm looking for? Your energy when you're not working is going to have to be laser focused. You're going to have to find the time, make the time somewhere else, and you're going to have to do it. You're just going to have to do it. You cannot have one class a month and expect to get to Royal Ground Diamond. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. All right? You have to do a lot of talking and a lot of sharing. And you have to build up momentum and keep it going. Because if you're not building momentum, then one class a month isn't even going to keep you on level. Like, you're probably going to fall backward. Because how many people get all the way to Royal Crown Diamond? 0.01%. Less than that. Less than 0.01%. That's not very many. So you have to work really hard. Okay? And if you have a full-time job and another part-time job and another part-time job and another part-time job and you participate in another MLM and it's not happening. It's just not happening. So you need to make up your mind, what do I want to do? I have this one person who I don't really even know how many MLMs she does. And she has a full-time job. And, I'm thinking, you know what? Pick one. Because you're really excellent at this and you could go all the way to the top if you would just focus and pick one. But a lot of people will listen to traditional business advice, which says to spread your eggs out. That's not the way it works with network marketing. You have to be laser focused. So if you're somebody that has to have a full-time job, then your time outside of that work, if it's 2 hours a day, if it's 5 hours a week, you have to be laser focused and you have to be working on recruiting. Even if you are the person who already has, even if you already have 1,000 in your downline, then as soon as you get people up to speed with knowing, where everything is and how to do it, then you should be recruiting new people. We need to always be recruiting new people. And if you're not recruiting new people, then guess what? Your downline isn't going to either. If they don't see you doing that, they're not going to do that either. So that's what you want to do, is always be recruiting. Okay, my battery's almost dead and we're at 45 minutes. Let me see. There was one more thing I wanted to say. Let me find it. Oh, okay. So one of the things that Gary said was a word he used, which I had not heard before, and it's really been, I just keep thinking about it, is leader shift. Did any of you hear that? Leader shift. Are you stable? And people don't, and when he was talking about this leader shift, and we need to be thinking, because we're in the middle of a paradigm change, where it's been, first it was like the massive momentum when we were talking about all things treatment related, and then we had a shift over into wellness, and wellness, and a lot of our business was driven by the product promotions, and so now we're having another shift. And what's it going to look like? We need to really be focused on ourselves and relationships, knowing our first line and making sure that all of the people that we're able to connect with know who their leaders are, and teaching our downline and to connect people upline, and also to get those relationships solid. One thing Amanda Uribe, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but she's another diamond. She was saying, you know what? We should be like having pajama parties, after the kids go to bed, if that includes a glass of wine or whatever, and sitting together and talking and fellowshipping and caring for one another and being friends and being in relationship, not just hi, how you doing? You want to buy some more oils, or why aren't you buying more oils? We need to be like, how can I pray for you? What is your family going through? How are your kids doing? Are you still homeschooling? Are you still in that Christian school? Are you still in the public school? What are you doing now that your kids are out? Are you, how are you enjoying empty nest? Whatever the things are, we need to know these things about each other. Right? Your front line and your second and third and fourth line, we should be knowing these things about each other. Like, I don't know everything about those people on all my levels. And so it's a leader shift. It's time to shift into close relationships. Okay, so I want to do that. I feel like that is what is going to help us to get back to building this business product driven, because our products are awesome and the compensation plan is awesome. We don't need promos. We shouldn't need promos. We should be able to just go out there and promote the products because they work, don't they? And when you hear stories about how they work for someone, you're like, man, I want to try that. Like Kidder just sent me a picture from one of her members of a challenge they did in their group where they used Ningxia and the Art skincare and pictures of her face. And I'm like, dang, what did she do? Because I'm doing it. I want to know what she did, because that's awesome. Look at that. And so we need to that is enough in and of itself. I shouldn't have to be promised, 85 million more products for the value is in the products, right? Yes, it is. Okay, so now I want you to put on your abundance. Oh, I love this. And if you mix abundance and gratitude, oh my goodness, that's awesome. Put on your abundance, and I want you to practice abundance in self-development, in your leader shift, where we focus on relationships rather than promotions. And, we shouldn't have to offer people more stuff because the products are valuable in and of themselves. So put on your abundance. We're going to draw to us people that want what we have. One of the things that Mary Young said was, people are searching for truth, and they know truth when they hear it. And so if they're searching for truth and you give them the truth, they're going to embrace it. So those are the people that we want to attract. We don't want the people that we have to convince and that are going to, oh gosh, I can't put that on. I can't put peppermint on my kids. Oh my gosh, eucalyptus is going to kill somebody. You're going to have to go to the hospital. Do you want to always be going, oh no, it's not. It's okay. It's okay, Judy. Gosh, I don't know if we have any Judys, but you know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay, it's okay. You're safe, you're fine. Well, what can I use for this and such? Well, get on there on the internet and look it up and see. We're going to attract abundance. Attract abundance. All right? Thank you for listening to me. I hope you found value in today, and I hope that this saved so people can watch it that weren't on. And if you have time tomorrow, pop into Heather's event. I'm going to talk a little bit about the convention experience, and I'll talk some, I probably won't say the exact same thing, but there's other people that are speaking besides just me. And remember that they are 3 hours behind us. So what starts at 8 o'clock, whatever time they start, 8 o'clock is really 11 o'clock our time. So thank you. If you want to give me feedback on the Facebook page, or if you have any questions, then ask me and we'll talk about it in the group. Thanks. Bye, Rachel. It's good to see you. Billy, Kevin. Yay. Okay. And those of you that won the men's challenge, I will be mailing out your stuff. I already have it. And so it'll be coming out in the mail this week. Thanks. Bye.